To all, in this video we are going to learn about the plane electromagnetic waves, which is in the fifth unit of this EMF. In this electromagnetic waves, we'll see about the plane waves, the Poynting vector, plane waves in various media. Under the plane waves, we'll see in detail about the polarization, and there are different types of mediums available. The first is the lossless medium, then lossy conducting medium, good conductor, and good dielectric. Now see what is meant by plane waves. We all know the waves are a means for transferring the energy or information from one plane to another. So under this, there are two types of waves. One is called as EM waves, that is the electromagnetic waves. As the name suggests, it is used for transferring the electromagnetic energy. Why it is named as plane waves? So mathematically, it is expressed as F is equal to F naught e power j k r minus a z. And where k is the vector and it points in the direction of the wave propagation, r is the general position vector, w is the angular frequency, f naught is a constant vector. And now see the properties of the uniform plane waves. The electric and the magnetic field are perpendicular to each other. And another property is no electric or magnetic field in the direction of propagation. The value of the electric field is equal to the magnitude of the electric field divided by eta naught. And this value of this eta naught is approximately equal to 377 ohms. Now the next topic is polarization. The polarization of the plane wave refers to the orientation of the electric field, which may be in the fixed direction or may change with time. The polarization is the curve traced out by the tip of the arrow representing the instantaneous electric field. The electric field must be observed along the direction of propagation. Now see the different types of polarization. If the vector that describes the electric field at a point in space varies as a function of time, and it is always directed along a line which is normal to the direction of propagation, the field is said to be linearly polarized. And if the electric field trace is a circle or ellipse, then the field is said to be circularly polarized. Now let us consider the superposition of the X linearly polarized wave with the complex amplitude of Ex and Y linearly polarized wave with a complex amplitude Ey, and assume that both traveling in the positive Z direction. Note that Ex and Ey may be varying with time for general case. And it is easier to analyze at a particular instant of time first and add the time dependence later. The total electric field, it is represented by the equation denoted here, and here this Ex and Ey may be complex numbers, and Ex naught, Ey naught are the amplitudes of Ex and Ey. Now we will go to the next topic, that is the Poynting vector. So what is a Poynting vector? It is the rate of the energy flow per unit area in a plane wave, and it is basically the curl of the electric field density vector and the magnetic field density vector. It is denoted by the expression S is equal to E cross H. The magnitude of the Poynting vector is the power flow per unit area, and it points along the direction of the wave propagation vector, the Poynting vector and the power flow in the EM fields. The average power per unit area, it is often called the intensity of the electromagnetic waves, is given by the expression S average. Now let us try to derive the form of the Poynting theorem from two Maxwell's curl equation. So we all know the Maxwell's curl equation, that is del cross E and del cross H. The power is given by the integral of this relation of the Poynting vector over a volume, and it is given by this equation. Now, if we interchange the volume integral and the partial derivative with respect to time, we will get this last equation. Now, this is the integral form of the Poynting vector and the power flow in the electromagnetic fields. The Poynting theorem states that the power coming out of the closed volume is equal to the total decrease in the electromagnetic energy per unit time. The power loss from the volume, which constitutes the rate of decrease in magnetic energy stored in the volume. The rate of decreasing the electric energy stored in the volume, and here it is denoted by the ohmic power loss, that is the energy converted into heat energy per unit time in the volume. And for free space, this is the expression, that is Vp, which is equal to 1 by square root of mu naught x epsilon naught, which is the speed of the light in the free space. The magnetic field can be obtained from the source-free Maxwell's curl equation. And next we'll see the definition for skin effect. What is skin effect? The fields attenuate as they travel in a good dielectric medium. If alpha in a good dielectric is very small in comparison to a good conductor, as the amplitude of the wave varies with e power minus alpha Z. And the skin effect, it is given by this expression, del is equal to 1 by alpha is equal to 1 by beta, and is equal to square root of 2 by omega mu sigma. And next topic is the reflection of the plane waves. Till now we have studied the plane waves in various medium. Let us try to explore how the plane waves will behave at the media interface. In practical scenarios of the wireless and mobile communications, the radio wave will reflect from walls and other obstacles on its path. When a radio wave reflects from a surface, the strength of the reflected waves is less than that of the incident wave. The ratio of the two reflected or incident wave is known as the reflection coefficient. This ratio depends upon the three main factors, that is the conductivity sigma, permittivity epsilon, and the permeability mu of the material that forms the reflective surface, as well as the material properties of the air from which the radio wave is incident. Some part of the wave will be transmitted through the material. How much of the incident wave can be transmitted through the material is also dependent on the material parameters mentioned above. It is given by another ratio known as transmission coefficient. So what is transmission coefficient means? It is the ratio of the transmitted wave divided by the incident wave. We will consider the case of normal incidence. When the incident wave propagation vector is along the normal to the interface between the two media, it is called as the normal incidence. The next is the lossy conducting medium. We will assume the plane waves with the electric field vector oriented along the x-axis, propagating along the positive z-axis without loss of generality. For z is less than 0, we will refer this region as region 1, and it is assumed to be a lossy medium. Now let us do a more generalized analysis by assuming this region 1 as a lossy medium. So in this medium, we'll get the two expressions for the electric and magnetic field as given by the two equations. So that's all about the fifth unit, and thank you. To all, in this video we are going to learn about the